What's up? My name's Tip, T.I.P. I first got into the music business when I was signed to LaFace Records by LA and KP back in 1999. I think, man, Atlanta has influenced my sound in every way possible simply because that's where I was born and raised. That's in the DNA of who I am. From the tone of my voice, my mannerisms, my sense of humor, uh, accounts from my past all come from things that happen, or mostly from things that happen in, around, or beginning in Atlanta. The Atlanta music business, I think, is different because there's such an eclectic mix of people from all walks of life, all areas of the nation, of the earth, that all come to Atlanta for the sole purpose of making music and becoming the next new thing. Being discovered is the same way people come to LA to begin a film career. It's the same way people come to Atlanta to begin a music career. I basically listen to it back and forth as I walk, come up with the overall thought of what the song should be. Sometimes hook first, sometimes verse first, but as soon as the words collect in my mind, I go into the booth and I allow them exit. Well, once I do a record, man, it speaks to me who would be most appropriate. And of the people who would be most appropriate, it usually come in threes, fours of options. So I start at the top of the option list and I work my way down. Some people I call myself, other people find our mutual acquaintances and, ask to direct me or connect the dots for me, if you will. And from there, man, I just wait on a response. I signed to Columbia uh, largely due to Pharrell's persistence. And also just, the vibe of they keep an independent vibe about themselves even though they're probably doing the most business as a label, as far as profit margins are concerned, as far as albums put out versus albums gone platinum. They probably have the best ratio in the business. However, man, I just kind of thought that they were a genuine group of people. Pharrell and I collaborating on this album Paperwork that's slated for October. I think there's an incredible amount of balance, diversity. Me coming from my world, him coming from his world, us meeting somewhere in the middle. Me challenging my thoughts, him challenging his approaches to music, and us challenging each other. I think it makes for the best listening experience for the observer. Well, it was so much music. We recorded so much music and it was so diverse, so all over the place. We felt that if we grabbed music that was, I guess, that lended itself to a certain vibe, theory, or emotion for the first one, and did the same thing for the second and the third, we felt it would be more appropriate than just kind of like mashing together a bunch of different types of records and a bunch of different approaches to music. We felt that, consolidating the messages and having all things come together cohesively was a better approach. I think opportunities kind of allowed me to consider more things than most. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because people kind of know that I'm kind of open or game to, to hear any idea in business that doesn't compromise my integrity. And fashion was very easy. It was a natural transition because I'm just so naturally passionate about how I present myself to the world by way of fashion. I feel like that's an extension of my artistry. And so to have a clothing line for me seemed like a natural progression, and it has since became just that. And actually, my second clothing line kind of started as a merch item, if you will, We just made T-shirts and hoodies to give away to the DJs as they filled my city for BET Hip Hop Award weekend. And the T-shirts and hoodie was so sought after, people were offering to buy them. And so we figured after we'd run out, we given all we could away. We figured, man, we may as well offer them up online for sale, and we did like $500,000 in a month. And retailers came a knocking. You know what I'm saying? And since then, man, the public has just been so just incredibly sincere about the support of Hustle Gang and a Coup, that it just makes it feel like we've been, we've been doing the right thing somewhere. Grand Hustle Records, my role, co-founder, and I guess you could say head honcho. You know what I'm saying? As long as Jason or Hannah or Clay or Doug ain't around, I guess I'd be the boss then. I mean, I think that my role in Grand Hustle is I'm the motivator. I lead by example. You know what I'm saying? When everybody else tired and ready to go home, and I'm still up and ready to work, that's my. I am the figure of inspiration. And how I found Iggy. I found Iggy in this very studio, as a matter of fact. I called her after DJ MLK put me up on game and told me I should check her out. Her and Travis Scott and some more people that don't really matter. But he sent me their names and some links to their videos and stuff and told me to check them out. And coincidentally, I was checking them out on the plane from Atlanta to LA. I landed in LA. I said, okay, so look, I like him. I like the dude, Travis. I think he's dope. The chick, I think she's hot. I want to meet with both of them. So he gets me their numbers. I call them and, arrange a sit down. The sit down happened here. Well, Travis and Iggy came in this very room and we sat down out there on the patio, individually, of course. And I asked them, each, so what's your approach? What's your, what do you need that you don't have right now that you think I could provide to help get you to where you're going? And Iggy basically, she said, you're pretty smart. You're smart to call me now because I'm going to be running shit in a few years, and I think you'll be very, very, very glad to know everyone else will be without oxygen, and you, because you called me, will be able to breathe. And so I'm looking at him like, oh, did you now? Well, thank you so much. And from that day on, man, we just began to work together, and we've been working together ever since. We have the Hustle and Flow open mic contest that my road manager, Clay Evans, he hosts. I think it's monthly. And I mean, man, we pretty much just open our doors and allow the new undiscovered talent to come in and showcase themselves, their art, their records. Other managers, other record labels, radio programmers, DJs, other members of the music community all show up to observe. So we've created a forum, a platform for people who feel like, they would like to have an opportunity to go out there and get their art heard, seen, observed. So that's one way. Another way, Sisterhoods of Hip Hop, as you just spoke of, which premiered on Oxygen and is doing very well rating wise, man. Thank you everybody for the support of that. I mean, really, that was just, I just wanted to document the road traveled by female hip hop MCs, man, trying to infiltrate a male dominated space. Man, stay true to you. You know what I'm saying? Stay true to you. Follow your passion. Never compromise your grind, and how you give respect and demand it in return, not necessarily by force, but in your presentation of self, in conversation, and it's so much different for a woman simply because that everybody's being so critical and looking at them with a different set of eyes than they are a man, both men and women. I think music is a universal voice. You know what I'm saying? It's a unified, if you will. It unifies people. People from all walks of life, from all races, colors, creeds, generations, and age groups. They they can all relate to music. You know what I mean? Everybody love Michael Jackson. I don't care who you are. You know what I mean? I don't care who you are, what you're doing, where you from. You know, you're in the Ku Klux Klan, you like Michael Jackson. You quit bullshitting. You're lying. Uh, and the same thing for a Black Panther. You love Michael Jackson. So music brings people together. It makes people, even if only for the time limit of a song, it makes people forget their differences. It makes people put their prejudices to the side and lose themselves in the funk. My new song probably it presents a viewpoint that most have discussed and analyzed in private, but because of the taboo nature of the topic, most people don't necessarily take it out into Times Square and speak on it. It usually stays in the dens and living rooms of whomever is speaking on them, and nothing can be done like that. In order to change tomorrow, you have to challenge the ways of the day. And the way you do that is you present it. You present it, allow people to observe it, bring attention to it, and then once converse, whether you don't have to agree all the time, but just speak on it. If you think that there's something that is another point that needs to be heard, another angle that needs to be analyzed, then you present your point. And in that exchange of dialogue, that's how epiphanies are had. That's how changes are made. But if we never do that, if we never challenge each other, if we never present our cases to one another, then things just continue on in the same repetitive cycle for years and years to come. My experience winning Grammys, I mean, it's some of the greatest, most memorable moments of my life. Uh, where I keep them, two at my house. Jason has one. Uh, I just, hmm. I think that Grammys is probably the most astute institution of music that we have. I feel like it is, a very broad, a very broad board of opinions and masters of perfecting art and music in all different genres. You know what I'm saying? And I think that to be noticed, acknowledged, and celebrated by that institution is, probably one of the greatest things you can experience in this industry of ours. Hey, what's up, man? It's TIP Hustle Gang here, Huncho, and you watching Grammy Pro.